Hey my angels and devils and all who may wander here, it is Amanda Christina and today we are making no-sew bunting. That is right, no-sew bunting. Now I got this really cute set of dies from AliExpress. This was under $3. There are a lot of bunting dies. I have the just plain triangle one, but I really wanted this shape for this. I was going to turn this into a This Is Halloween banner, but when you see this fabric, you'll understand my reluctance to cover it up. So we're using the biggest one in the set, which is this one. So I'm just going to pop these away. Now, we are using this gorgeous Jack Skellington and Zero fabric from Nightmare Before Christmas. I got a piece of this for about, it's about $5.50 Australian. It was a fairly decent size piece. I probably could have got more banner pieces out of it and could get more, but I could have gotten a few more if I had not tried to tear a strip off the bottom. I learnt that you tear... Hang on, I'll show you. Where'd the piece go? I have learned that if you're going to tear this fabric, like if you cut it to where you want it to be, cut it and then tear that way, not tear across, and you'll get even pieces. So as you can see, I've probably got enough for 4 to 6 more banners off that. If I had not have taken the bottom piece off, I probably would have been able to get 3 banner pieces per one. So you could get quite a bit of bunting for a very small amount of money. Like with the dies and the ribbon, like if I bought the roll of ribbon from AliExpress, I think it's about, excuse the crinkling, it is about $1 or $2 for the ribbon. The dies were $3. Yeah, so you can do this. Oh, and you need double-sided tape, but that is up to you. Okay, so other things we need. We need the banner die. As you can see, it's a little bent out of shape because I have been using it, but nothing that stops it from cutting. And look, I just bent that back into shape very easily. It's just more my cutting mat. You need a die cutting machine, or if you don't have a die cutting machine, just trace out your own banner piece on a piece of like chipboard or packaging plastic and just trace them out and cut them out. It takes a little bit longer, but that's perfectly fine. You're going to need strong double-sided adhesive or craft glue. I have craft glue, but that's just to finish the end of the bunting. I started my piece of bunting, so this video would not take forever. So craft glue, double-sided tape, good strong double-sided tape, a lighter, scissors, book pages, which I will explain in a minute, your fabric cut to size, and some satin or ribbon of your choice. And because I cannot find my ruler past the course in my life, I am using my mini scoreboard, which I'll explain in a minute. So the first thing you're going to want to do, and this is how I figured out how to get this to cut, is you're going to want about half a dozen book pages. Now the benefit of this is you will also end up with half a dozen book page flags, which I have been using to add into Happy Mail, into flipbooks and things, just because it's a nice little addition. Okay, so we've got that. Now I've got 2 pieces of the fabric. We're just going to lay that down. We're going to pop our banner die piece on top. This is what, when you'll understand in a moment why I pre-did a lot of this, is just to save down time mostly more than anything. And then we're going to just roll that through. Hold this down. Just bear in mind this is a, what do you call it, fold away table, so everything is going to rock a little. Okay. And you're going to want to put this through about half a dozen times, really. Just notice my die cutting machine could do with a clean. Okay. Now, you are still going to need to do a little bit of cutting. Okay, so we're just going to move that. Oh, I'm just going to pop my die cutting machine to one side because I need that for another video I'm filming soon, and also because I have a spot where my die cutting machine lives. Okay, so now what you have is your die cut book pages. So you've got a whole lot of page, and it gives you a nice little embossed thing. So you can do whatever you want with those. They can be used in layouts. They can be used to make a book page banner. So we just have the rubbish. And then you have your bit here, which just needs a little bit of trimming in a couple of places. So with nice, strong scissors, you're just going to snip the bits that need to be snipped. It's usually not much. And for me, because I find this as a neater thing, like you get a much neater finish if I do. To me, to hand cutting, I get a much neater finish by die cutting. Otherwise, you could just completely hand cut. So we're just going to put the rubbish to one side and the extras to one side. So now we have 2 banner pieces. And what we're going to do, and be careful when you do this, because it's very important to be careful when you do this. This is to stop it fraying. So what you're going to do is take your lighter, like you would with some ribbon, and just very gently, you don't want to melt too much of the fabric, you just literally want to make sure that you're not going to get frayed edges. So like here it's just puckered a little bit because I did it just a little bit too long. So I don't know if you can, I've worked most of the pucker out, but hopefully you can just see a little bit. And what this does is, like with ribbon, basically you're not going to get frayed edges. So instead of, and this is like, honestly for me, I think the die cutting and see, look, I can pull on that now and nothing's going to, oh, except for the bit where I missed, of course. So you just want to make sure you hit most of, like the majority of your edges, make sure there's nothing going to fray. This means that if you want to throw it in the washing machine, you can, because it's not going to fray. This is another reason I did a lot of pre-prep on this video, is because it just, to even do this takes a little bit of time. I honestly, putting the banner together, once all the steps were done, like once all the die cutting's done, once all the, I think the die cutting and this part are the hardest bits of this. And the other thing I did too, just to make sure I had it done, to make it easier and faster, is pre-do all my tape. Okay, so now that we've got the 2 banner pieces done, and I already have another 2 in here, we can put the banner die to one side. We don't need this. This is what I pre-prepped. So we have some ribbon, white satin to go with the colours of this. My room is kind of black and white, so now I have 2 banner pieces here that I've already done. And then what we're going to do is grab the tape. This is red liner tape from eBay or AliExpress. I can't remember where I got this one from. I think it might actually be cheaper on eBay for some reason, but I'm not sure. I'm not even sure if you might even be able to get this on Wish. And then we're just going to cut. So we're just going to put the tape on and just make sure there's no extra bits showing. And if you peel that off and there is a little bit extra, just make sure you tuck it under. And this one, so we're just going to, this one has the stitch marks on it. Now you could fold it over where the stitch marks are, but because I wanted a bit more height to my banner, I didn't actually do that. I kept, yeah, okay. So now that we've got our pieces, I will find where I'm at with this, the already made banner. And what I do is I grab my scoreboard and I use that to measure the distance between each one. So what I do is, yeah, I'm missing one. Here we go. So it's really simple. Like, this is so simple, and I love this. I would happily do this with other fabrics. This is going to go, the reason I'm not adding Halloween to it or anything like that is because I want to use it in my room afterwards. So I'm just using an inch. So I stick that there. So I stick my finger there so I know where I want to put my next piece. Then what we do is line it up. Oops, it's a little, of course it goes crooked when I'm trying to do a video. Do it perfectly almost every other time, and then when I want to do a video, okay, so what you're going to do is just literally stick it along the ribbon like that, and then continue. So we do another inch, stick my finger there, take the backing off the red liner tape, and line it up, get it as even as possible. I try and keep the ribbon sort of flush with the top of the fabric so it lines up nicely, and just so that you, and the thing is with this tape it is also a little bit repositionable, like with the ribbon, because it comes off fairly easy as long as you don't sort of burnish it on to begin with. And then we repeat, and you repeat this until you've done all your bunting. We've just got 2 more pieces here. And this will be in my background as soon as I have a chance to not be too dizzy to put it up. So it will be replacing my Happy Love Day Baymax banner. Okay, so, oh, I must have, oh, okay, I missed a whole seam here where I did not. Okay, there we go. Missed a whole seam there. That's not good. So 1 inch. We put this here. And after this we have just 1 more to line up and do. And then I will show you how I start and finish off the banners, because it is the same. And then we just need 1 more inch of this. 1 more banner piece, and this is just so relaxing, so chill. I just found this as something I could do while watching TV once it was all cut out. I sat here die cutting while I was cooking dinner one day, and just it is kind of a thing once you get into the rhythm of it, and depending on how much you need to create as well. So this is our banner, and if you have a look at the start of the banner, what I have done is created a loop that finishes around the start. So that's why we need the craft glue. So I'm just going to move this to one side. Decide, here we go. I can actually measure my loop against the other piece of banner. So it's about there. So we want to fold this in to about there. So we snip. This is all very simple. Like, honestly, because, given you're not going to use the whole roll of ribbon unless you're making a huge banner, even if you used all your fabric, you're still not going to use a whole roll of, like, that's 25 yards of ribbon, like usually comes on one of these. I already had this, and I usually make sure that when I heat the end of the ribbon from when I just so it doesn't fray. Then we're just going to put a dab of craft glue. Now, the reason I didn't use craft glue and I used the tape is because I've noticed with thinner fabrics the craft glue shows through. Even on ribbon it can show through, and I know you could do hot glue, but anyone who watches this channel already knows how I feel about hot glue. So basically that's, you've got your loops, and then you have this gorgeous, gorgeous bunting that you can use as decoration. You can, you know, you can do this with paper if you didn't want to do Like, look, there's just so much of it. You could do it with paper if you didn't want to do that bit's flipped up, but yeah, like you could do it with paper, you could do it, you know, you can do it with fabric, you could do it with felt, you can put words on it, you can pretty much customize this however you want. However, I saw this fabric and I fell in love, and it really does. I have a black and white doona cover, which you would have seen in some of my videos, so this matches in with the black and white of my room, so to speak. So that is it. It's that simple. So no sew bunting in Nightmare Before Christmas themed. Let me know what you think below. Will you be trying this? I will leave a link to both the fabric and the AliExpress dies down below so that if you want them, you can get them too. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I will talk to you soon, my angels and devils. Bye! Oh, the usual. Like, subscribe. You are incredible. You are amazing. And most importantly of all, you matter. How can I forget my own spiel? Oops.